Hello everybody! Today we're going to unbox the DBPOWER Hawkeye-II quadcopter drone with camera, take a close-up look and test it out. So let's first take a look around the outside of the box. So there are two QR codes on the side of the box, one for product details and another one for a free gift. And the quadcopter can be controlled either using your smartphone or the included transmitter or remote control. So let's go ahead and open up the box. Sure, there's nothing else. Oh, there's actually something else in the box, and that is what I think would be the user manual. And it comes supplied in English. And we have in front of us the quadcopter drone and the transmitter or remote control. Okay, so let's first remove the remote control. And let's take the quadcopter out. And under the tray there's actually some other bits, so let's remove them. Okay, so we can put that aside now, and put that down. And let's open up the packet and see what's inside. Okay, so what we have in the little packet of accessories is a small Phillips screwdriver, and I would think that this is used for changing the rotor blades. So these are spare rotor blades, and we have 4 of them. So let's put that down as well. And what else do we have? We have another screwdriver, which is a Phillips screwdriver, a smaller one. Let me just double check that first one. Yes, that first one is a thicker one with a bigger tip. So let's put that back down. And we have a USB cable here with a different type of unusual connector. I think this is meant for charging the quadcopter. Let me just undo the cable just to give you an idea of the length for when it comes to charging your quadcopter. So there we go. Okay, let's put that aside. And now let's take a look at the controller. Okay, and you have some buttons here as well, and a switch in the middle, and more buttons around the center. And you have what appears to be a cradle for your smartphone. So there's a clamp there which you can clamp your smartphone down with. Okay, so let's put the transmitter aside and take a look at the quadcopter. So you can see the tiny camera down here. It's a 0.3 megapixel camera, so you can actually angle it as well to the desired position. And what you can do is with your smartphone, you can fly in FPV or first person mode and see where you're actually going, so you'll get some quite nice aerial views as you control the quadcopter. Okay, so it turns out in order to turn on the quadcopter, what we need to do is we need to pop this or slide this Wi-Fi module off so that we can access the battery compartment, which is right here. And to open the cover, simply press down and pop it off. There's actually a hinge, but it doesn't stay on. It comes off anyway. It's probably easier to do it that way. And as you can see, it's quite a tight fit, so it's a bit fiddly in here. And this is the battery, so it's completely removable. And let me just show you the connector. So this connector that we see here, once it focuses, if you need to charge it, goes into that USB cable that we saw earlier during the initial unpacking. So simply goes in there and then you can charge the battery. Okay, so anyway, let's plug the battery into the quadcopter connector there, which you can see. So it's the same kind of connection as we saw on the USB cable. And straight away, the lights have come on, so there are 4 LED lights on there if you want to fly it during the nighttime. And this is, like I said, could be a bit fiddly trying to cram the battery and the cable all in. I think it might be some kind of art form here for the more experienced. But ultimately, it will fit there. So just cram it in. And also the Wi-Fi module can actually be disconnected if you need to do that. Not quite sure why. Maybe if your module fries for whatever reason. But anyway, we can slide the module back on. Oops. Wrong way. There we go. And there we go. We have the quadcopter powered up and ready to go. Right there. So what we want to do is let's try and fly it using the app. So we go to the app or Play Store and look for CX Wi-Fi UFO and then simply install the app so that you can control the quadcopter using your smartphone. But of course you can also just simply use the included remote control or transmitter that it's right in the background there. So let's go ahead and open the app. Okay guys, so I had to read the user manual and do some online research because I was having trouble connecting my smartphone via Wi-Fi to the quadcopter. So it turns out that what I needed to do was turn off my home Wi-Fi router, and if you have any other Wi-Fi devices at home, turn them off so that the quadcopter can become discoverable on your smartphone in the Wi-Fi devices list. So let me quickly show you, because the quadcopter doesn't have an on-off switch. The only way of turning it on or off is actually by simply connecting the power or battery pack to the actual quadcopter itself. So simply by plugging it in like that. And I'll show you on my phone right now. I've got my router turned off, so now it should be discoverable. It's not showing up right now yet, so let me try and refresh it this way. And you can see right now, CX Wi-Fi UFO 051 AF2, that is the actual quadcopter itself. So if you have a quadcopter of this brand, the DBPOWER Hawkeye-II, you might probably have the same kind of device name. So that means that we're connected, because if I go into the Wi-Fi UFO app now, instead of showing a can't connect, wrong Wi-Fi, it should now, yes, straight away you can see the camera showing now, so you know that it's responding, and there we go, and it's actually responding. The quadcopter is to the controls. And I had to play around before I could figure out how to connect using my smartphone. I did try with the transmitter over here, or the remote control, and one big thing is calibration is a big thing that you want to sort out on your quadcopter, because when I tried to lift off, it would drift and veer. So that's something you want to sort out, and you can do that using the app itself. There's some controls at the bottom and on the sides to adjust the calibration over here, here, and this sidebar here. So that's a really important thing to get it sorted out so that you can fly properly. If not, as soon as you kind of lift off the ground, it will start turning left or right. So you want it to come straight up. But I'm just a beginner anyway, so this is my first experience with a quadcopter. I'm still learning, and I did try and fly indoors, and I highly advise against that if you have no experience flying quadcopters, because I ended up slicing and shredding stuff around my room, and actually ended up slicing myself there with a small nick. So yeah, so always be safe about this. If you've never flown it before, don't fly it indoors. Definitely fly outdoors, because you're going to do some damage either to yourself, someone else, or your things, or the actual quadcopter itself. And these bumpers, they just provide minimum protection. They're not really there to protect anybody, or even the quadcopter itself. I mean, it just provides minimum protection. It's more of a, I would say it's more of like a falling kind of thing when you turn it off and it lands. So it's kind of like a crash prevention. But if you are still flying and fly into a wall or something, it's not really going to protect the rotor blades at all. So that's something to be mindful of. So let's, before I go outside and try and do some flying outside, which I haven't done quite yet. And there's something else to mention is that the Wi-Fi pack here, when you, the whole reason for this Wi-Fi pack is that if you disconnect it or take it out, the reason for it being removable is that I've discovered that from my online research is that gives you maneuverability for the quadcopter to do tumbles and all kinds of acrobatics because you kind of have less weight on it. So yeah, even though it just looks small with this camera on there, it is significant weight compared to the actual quadcopter itself. So that's something to be aware of. So let's try and do some flying outside. So that's the DBPOWER Hawkeye-II quadcopter drone with camera. Thanks for watching and happy flying!